everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaki and today I'm going to be doing my Reading Seasons spring vlog. If you didn't know, me and my friend over at Waverley Reads host a seasonal 24-hour readathon every single season, so relatively like 4 to 5 months apart. Our last round was in December for obviously our winter round of 2018. Before that was our autumn round of 2018 as well. So this round is our spring round for 2019, which is the first round of 2019. That was so confusing, I'm so sorry. So I'm starting this vlog a little bit early. It's actually the day before Reading Season starts, technically, because I have a 5 till 10 and I'll be very dishevelled 2 hours, coming home about an hour, 2 hours before the readathon starts. Because I'm introducing the vlog, and normally in these vlogs, if you've never watched one before, then welcome, this is gonna be a ride. But I normally just go through quickly my TBR and the challenges so you know what I'm reading for what. The first challenge in Reading Seasons is always to do with colour. So we thought to ourselves, what screams spring to us? And personally to us as the creators, we thought like pastel colours. So the first challenge is to pick a book that has pastel colours on the cover. My pick for this is Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven, which also ties in with the second challenge of picking an author who is born in spring. Spring is from March 20th until June 20th. I believe that Jennifer Niven was born in May. I'm not entirely sure. I will leave it on the screen, her exact birthday. I've completely forgotten. But yeah, I decided to double up the first challenge with that one, just to make things a bit easier for me. The next challenge is another one to do with the cover, and that is to spell out egg. For this one, I've decided to go with Me, Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. There's so many E's and G's on this, you could probably take it from anywhere, but I have decided to go with one E from me and then the 2 G's from Dying and Girl. I've also come up with egg names for all of my books because if you didn't know, the Reading Season Twitter has been 70% egg jokes for like a month straight right now. Holding Up the Egg, Me, Earl and the Dying Egg. The next one is another one to do with the cover, and that is to have flowers on the cover, and also to do with flowers is to wear a flower crown. Obviously my Deadpool beanie is not a flower crown, I know that, but for this challenge I decided to double them two up because it makes the most sense because they're both about flowers. I'm gonna be reading The Way I Used to Egg by Amber Smith. The last challenge of ours was to do a little egg hunt. Basically, I think I picked out 3 books that were on my yearly TBR, and I went on a massive egg hunt to find which one I was going to read and one that I was going to read last in my overall TBR. And Ketchup Clouds by Annabelle Pitcher came out, and you guessed it, I renamed this Ketchup Eggs. So I think I went with Egg Clouds. It's Egg Clouds. I have got 4 books on my TBR, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get to all of them. I think I'm going to prioritise these 3. I'm not really too fussed about Me, Earl and the Dying Girl. I've heard really good things about it, but I'm not too fussed on it. Because I have work from 5 till 10 and I don't get home until 11, which gives me no time to really chill out before the readathon starts, because I'm going to have to like making tea and like speaking to the vlog and stuff like that. It gives me kind of no time to chill before the readathon starts, no time to sleep or anything. So I'm gonna be getting home at about 11, which is an hour before the readathon starts. So I will kind of have time to make a cup of tea, maybe sit down, meditate for a fucking minute and breathe. I'll read for an hour with everybody else and start it, but I can't promise that I'm gonna stay awake. I do only have a 5-hour shift though. If it was like an 8-hour shift, I would then worry. But it's only 5 hours and I'll be back soon. So I'm really hoping that everything is gonna be okay and that I can finish all of these, because a host and not finishing all the books, that's the tea.
Host not finishing all the books.
The lighting in here is really weird, but it's like 4 minutes past 12. We were late, so that's about it. Tia didn't do her Easter egg hunt until like 5 years ago? Yeah. I have a tea. I got a cup of tea, and to me, this looks like an egg cup. So I decided to use an egg cup. I don't know which one I'm going to read first. I can't read Ketchup Clouds. I think I might just go with Me, Earl and the Dying Girl because it's the shortest. So let's crack on with it. Also, flat crown. I like it. It makes me feel less insecure. This is some people's favourite book of all time when Looking for Alaska exists. I'm on page 211 and it's taking everything in me not to DNF this book, because I just got to the part where the main character says to the other main character that you can't be bisexual, and also this white author thinks it's okay just drop the N-word in the middle of sentences. It's in quotation marks. It's not okay. I also hate the way that the main character talks about and treats women. I know this was written like 7 years ago and all the reviews I've seen are from like 5 years ago. But you guys seriously need to read Meal on the Dying Girl. Actually, don't even waste your time. But if you're willing, if you gave it 5 stars, 4 stars or more, 3 stars or more, go back and read it because it's fucking trash. Goodbye. I don't even know what to say. I wasted 2 hours of my time. It is currently 3:17 in the morning and I wanted to come on the vlog just to let you know that I'm going to go to sleep now until about 8-9 o'clock. I don't know, maybe 9. I think I'm going to treat myself to 9, just stay a little bit longer. I'm going to set like 1 billion alarms because I don't want to repeat the events that happened in Women's Seasons Winter where I slept for 8 hours by accident. But I thought I would come on the vlog to let you know I'm going to sleep, and I did end up DNFing me the Dying Girl because you saw me throw it on the floor. But in the morning I will start Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven, and this is just under 400 pages long, so I want to get one of the biggest books on my TBR done by about midday tomorrow. I think I've got a really good chance if I start it at 10. It's like 380 something pages, so I'll probably just count as 400 anyway. So it's going to take me about 4 hours. I'm really excited to get to this one tomorrow, and I'm hoping that I can read it fast because I need to. It's like 400 pages long. Good morning everybody, it's currently 9 o'clock, I think, maybe. I'm about to get some food and then I'm about to start my second book, which is Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. But I think I'm going to like this. It has a 3.90 star on Goodreads, but as we could tell by last night, Goodreads ratings aren't always the truth. It's about 2 o'clock now. My sprints start in about half an hour. I finished this about like 10 minutes ago, but I'm going to start another book soon. I normally would be like on my 3rd read by now, which is like stressful. Moving on to my next book, which is The Way I Used to Be by Anne Smith, and I'm really excited. It's a 5-star prediction. So I'm hoping that I can get a 5-star read. I rated this a 3.75 on Goodreads. Obviously ran it up to a 4 because it's more deserving of a 4 than a 3. Personally, why it wasn't like a 4 stars for me is because the constant fat shaming in this book, like the word fat is used multiple times, like literally like 20 times per page, and it made me feel very uncomfortable. But other than that, and the fact that Jennifer Niven doesn't write unlikable, likable characters that well, and the fact that some scenes are really distressing, I dog-eared a lot of pages. It might trigger some people, but I dog-eared so many pages for me to highlight and annotate quotes and stuff like that. I'm so glad that Libby exists. I literally just read this for Libby because she loves dancing. She's a plus-size girl and she's capable of love. She is incredible and amazing, and I love Libby so much. I saw so much of myself in her. A lot of people complained the fact that the only thing that she talks about and thinks about is the fact that she's overweight, which I agree with. Like, that is the only thing mainly that she thinks about. But she also loves dancing and art and film, and she's not afraid to show it. But the fact that she talks so much about her weight is the fact that that's all she's known all of this time, and the fact that all anyone speaks to her and calls her out about is her weight. And it's kind of natural after all of that time. As a plus size person myself, I can relate to that so much, is that all you think that you have to offer to the world is your weight. I think that Libby personally is going to speak to so many people, and if she didn't speak to you, then that's fine. But the fact that so many smaller, thinner people are saying that's all she talks about, and like that's like the point of her character, and the fact that that's all I think about as someone who has like an active eating disorder. And I feel like it's going to touch a lot of people in ways that it touched me, and I really liked this more than I thought I would. But unfortunately it doesn't really deserve a full 4 or a 5 because the fat shaming made me uncomfortable. The character of Jackie, he's an asshole. So yeah, I liked Libby. She really saved this novel for me, and I like the fact that she keeps saying that she's magic and she's loved, and she shares a lot of like her intimate thoughts and stuff. I really just liked her and her journey in this, and I have a lot of quotes to go through. So these are the 2 books that I have read so far in Women's Seasons. It looks pathetic since we're like how many hours in, like 13 hours in. So I feel really bad about that, but two books, it's fine. One of them was a DNF technically. My next book is, as I said, The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith, which is my flowers on the cover read and also my flower crown read, although I have been just reading with this on and off all day practically. My reading sprints are in about half an hour, probably like 20 minutes by now. So I'm gonna grab some food because I'm really hungry, and then I'm going to start this before the sprints begin. My sprint starts in about 3 minutes. Great, my phone just went off. That was great. Good job I was finished talking, huh? My sprints start in about 3 minutes. So we're gonna get this egg, aka get this bread. So it's about 5:30 now and the sun is going down, so we brought my lamp downstairs because it's really bright. I am on page 200 and actually exactly 200 of The Way I Used to Be, and I unfortunately am not liking it as much as I hoped to. I have another unpopular bookish opinion apparently because the reviews on Goodreads say a lot of 4 and 5 stars, but I am so close to rating this a 2.5 because of reasons. I think I'm going to leave it until my under wrap up portion, but I feel like I haven't really updated you on my progress with any of the reads because it's been very stressing actually getting them read. The Way I Used to Be is basically a rape story about this girl, obviously trigger warnings for that and stuff. It's not very well done, I'm just saying. I'm gonna finish it and then I'll collate my actual opinions in the wrap up portion of this vlog. I just feel like I've done really bad with vlogging so far. I haven't vlogged at all and I'm really sorry, but I also was worried because I haven't put my weekly vlog footage onto my laptop yet from Friday and Saturday I believe, so I'm really conscious about storage and getting my laptop, so bear with me for this round because it's a mess and I don't know what's happening. It's been around, it's been such a weird day and I just felt tired for all of it. So I'm hoping I am blaming work, but anyway, just this. I'm gonna go finish it now.
Did you finish it?
So it is now about 5 to 8 and I can't, I rated this a 3.5 on Goodreads. I finally made up my mind. I didn't rate it 3.5 because you can't, but I rated it 3 because it was more deserving of a 3 than a 4. So I rated it a 3 officially, but gave it a 3.5. And I'm not going to talk about this that much until my wrap up because I still have some underlying thoughts. And I've only got 5 minutes till I have to start Catch Up Clouds. I liked the ending. The ending as a whole was a 5 stars for me, like literally was a 5 out of 5 if it was just the ending. And I feel like if that had been like that throughout the entire thing, easily it would have been 5 stars. I cried at the end. I actually just filmed myself crying for 3 minutes, so have that. So yeah, I gave us a 3.5. A lot of average reads tonight. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just picked a bad bunch or we're just really tired. I'm really depersonalised and I feel like I've been out drinking and I haven't. But Catch Up Clouds will take me 3 hours to read. I have a really bad ulcer, so I'm talking like a maniac. But I'm going to go read Catch Up Clouds. It's a reread for me and it's my egg hunt. So last challenge, last book, and I'd kick myself if I gave up now. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And I will probably talk to you more at the end. Maybe I won't for my wrap up portion just yet because my ulcer's really getting bad again. So I might just go, but yeah, I just thought I would vlog and tell you that I finished this and gave it a 3.5. That's how big it is. It just fucking made a noise. Hello, it is now very much later. It's actually almost a week later and I still haven't closed this vlog, partly because I forgot and partly because I was just avoiding it because I feel like this round of the season was really odd for me. I know multiple people have said the same thing, but I think definitely for me and Waverley especially it was work. Having work before a readathon is not a good idea. Despite it being a little bit of a weird round for me, I still managed to read 3 out of the 4 books on my TBR. I really wanted to reread Catch Up Clouds by Annabelle Pitcher, but I just got to this one and I just thought it's a reread. I have read it before, I really liked it and I want to see if I would like it again, but I just thought it was really low priority and I did miss out on a challenge, which was the egg hunt challenge, which I'm really upset about because it's my favourite challenge. So I just kind of quit and I'm really angry at myself that I did that because this is not that long at all. It's not even 300 pages, I don't think. I could have done it in hindsight, but in the moment I was just done. But these are the 3 books that I read in Reader Season's spring round of 2019. So let's just quickly go through my ratings, what I thought of them and what they're about. The first one that I actually DNF'd was Meet Her and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. This is basically about 3 people, not in different perspectives, it's just in one, but it's from like 3 people who are the main people, if that makes sense. This is about Greg, who has written this book. He has a friend called Earl and they both know this dying girl who they are forced to befriend after Greg's mum is like, she meant so much to you in this time of your life, so go and be friends with her, she's dying, it's so bad, it so sucks, which is a fucking word that this author apparently loves. The reason why I DNF this, I think I DNF this right at the end, like 50 pages to the end. There's an earring back in the shot. No, I hate the way that both of the main protagonists, Earl and Greg, talked about female characters and how just the whole premise of this book didn't really sit right with me. One of the subplots is the fact that they're playing a game called Fat Girl Rodeo and they're literally jumping on other girls. Wait, no, I think that's this one. Is this one. I'm getting the 2 books mixed up. This is the heart of being in a READATHON. I just didn't like the way that both of the main characters talked about women, and the whole plot line of this made me feel really uncomfortable. Was the fact that he only pretended to be in love with her or pretended to like the dying girl is because she was dying and because he felt bad. So I decided to DNF it, so obviously it automatically gets a 1 star, but I'll be talking a bit more about my disgust in my wrap up at the end of the month. The next book is the subplot that I was talking about, and that is Holding Up the Universe for Jennifer Niven. I can't remember what I gave this. I think I gave it just under a 4 stars, and it actually turned out to be my highest rated book of this path. This is basically just about Libby, who is plus size, and she really just she embraces being plus size, but at the same time she's very insecure because she is the girl that everyone knows in her, like, not town, yeah, I suppose town, like in her school, that she is known for being lifted out of her house because she couldn't leave because she was so big. So Libby has lost loads of weight and she's coming back to school and she feels like she can get some type of normality. The people just kind of know her for being the kid who was too fat to leave her house. Jack is just an ordinary kid at school. He's kind of like the class clown, kind of, and he befriends Libby because they work on a project together, and his friends are kind of hosting the thing that I said earlier as like the Fat Girl Rodeo thing, and she actually gets Fat Girl Rodeoed, and so does her friend, and she kind of just like starts to tell and educate Jack on how this game is wrong. And I really liked that about this book. Neither of the characters are perfect at the beginning. They both educate each other and they both let each other know, and there's some really cute moments between Libby and Jack, although I don't like Jack that much. I feel like Libby, if she loves Jack, then she deserves the best, because I loved Libby so much. She's a dancer, she's plus size, she keeps saying this phrase, this catchphrase, I am magic, which I put a shot of in this vlog, and I just love Libby so much. Jennifer Niven doesn't write bad boy characters very well. I end up just hating them when I'm supposed to love them, but yeah, that's my personal thoughts on Holding Up the Universe. And the last one is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. As you saw, I just bawled at this one. I freaking bawled. This is all about Eden, who unfortunately goes through a very traumatic experience. Obviously, trigger warnings, content warnings for rape and for like sex and stuff like that if you're uncomfortable with that. Basically, Eden goes through this very traumatic experience with one of her brother's friends, Kevin, and it's basically where she is taken advantage of when she was very young. I think she was about 13, 14 at this point. And basically, Eden goes through a lot of trauma and a lot of self-doubt at the beginning, and then she starts to lose control and she starts to drink, use drugs, have a lot of meaningless sex, and she starts to lie about her age quite a lot, and her mind is so much older than she is, and she's forced to like grow older, if that makes sense. So at 14, 15, she's pretending that she's already like 18 and she's having sex with guys and going to parties and lying about her age in order to do these things. This was so hard to read and so hard to rate, and I honestly didn't like this book, and I was gonna DNF, but I already had a DNF at the start of the readathon. I actually wanted to get through this one, so I stuck it out and I was reading reviews on Goodreads, and a lot of people said that it picks up in the last 100 pages. Now, personally for me, that isn't good enough. Like, I feel like it should have been like that the entire way through. The last 100 pages were definitely a 5 out of 5 stars. I was bawling. I literally read the 100 pages in like 10 minutes. If that had been the whole book, I'd have totally understood, but I feel like the other parts of the book where Eden's losing control and she's sleeping with a lot of people it had no substance for me, and I feel like it was just, it was lacking some things. I feel like the execution could have been better in places, but I'm glad it exists, and I think that if you're strong enough to stomach this when you've been through something like this, definitely go ahead and read it, but be very, very careful, because you could be very easily triggered. Very careful and wary going into this one, but I would recommend maybe. It taught me a lot of things about the law, and it taught me a lot of things about how this kind of thing is mentally handled, and I can totally see why Eden would go on a reckless bid of sleeping with loads of people just casually, because she feels like she's taken this control back, and she's kind of like grown up way too fast. Her virginity was taken from her when she was like 13, 14 by someone that she loved and she thought might love them back in like an innocent way, and she didn't want sex at that point, and she didn't get a choice in that, so she decides to go and have a choice with every other person that she sleeps with. I think that's the moral of the story. I get it now. I feel like it could have just been done better. I don't know. I'm still a bit confused at this, so I rated it a 3.75, I think. Just under a 4, because I do feel like sometimes it's unnecessary, and I was getting angry at Eden, and then I noticed the fact that that's the point and that's rape culture, and I felt so bad that I cried. It was a whirlwind, and I'm still not really sure how I feel about it, but definitely read it to collate your own opinions if you can stomach it. If you can't and it's too triggering, I can totally understand. So these are the 3 books that I managed to get read for Rainbow Seasons Spring. I'm so sorry if this vlog was like mixed matched and you can't really understand what I'm saying. I know I didn't vlog a lot of my opinions or what the books were about, but I hope this was substantial enough, and I hope that you will return next round of Rainbow Seasons. Our Twitter and everything will be linked down below. I believe Waverley's vlog also went up, so I'll also link that below. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. I make videos on the channel every single Tuesday for bookish content. It's currently probably Thursday, Friday, because I know Waverley's just posted hers, but I wasn't quite ready with mine yet. I wasn't ready to face my disappointment, so it's probably like Thursday night right now for you. So hello, I hope you're enjoying your lovely evening, but thank you so much for watching this vlog, and I will see you in the next round of Rainbow Seasons. Bye!
You've got a face for a smile, you know. A shame you're wasted when you're breaking me slowly. But I've got